Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is our lesson 5 on Katalon automation tool concepts. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how can we automate test cases in script mode of Katalon Studio. So I have already published my previous videos covering the topics how can you perform, record and replay to automate the test cases. And also I have showed you another method where you can basically use scriptless or manual steps, adding manual step method in automating the test cases. So in this lesson I'm going to give you another method where you can automate test in scripting mode, right? So please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos on these concepts. Thank you. Okay, so now there are three different types of test case creation in Katalon Studio, which means you can automate test cases in three different ways. The first way is it's a record and replay mode, where I have explained these concepts in lesson 3. And the second method is a manual mode. This I have explained you in lesson 4. How can you automate test cases by using manual mode? And this is lesson 5 where I'm going to explain you how can you automate test cases in scripting mode. Okay, so now let's see what is this scripting mode. The scripting mode means basically you'll be using Selenium and Java coding languages in automating the test cases. It's more or less similar to the method where you'll be using some IDEs. Like let's assume you are using Eclipse to automate test cases with the help of Selenium dependencies. In the same way, in Katalon Studio also, you can follow the scripting method where you'll be writing the code to automate your test cases. So I'm going to teach you how to create test cases in scripting mode. And also I'm going to teach you how can we run and validate the automation scripts whenever you perform automation by using scripting mode. Okay, so hopefully so now let's jump onto the system and let me show you how can we automate test cases by using scripting mode available in Katalon Studio. So this is my Katalon Studio. Okay, I have opened my Katalon Studio. I would suggest you guys to basically visit all my previous 4 lessons before you proceed with this particular session to understand the concepts very well. Okay, so now let me create a new test case here. Okay, let me create a new test case. Right click on the test case module and then click on test case TC03 scripting mode. Okay, name this as TC03 scripting mode. Right, so as soon as you create a test case, it's gonna open an empty wizard. Okay, now so before I proceed, I would like to tell one thing here. Okay, so when you perform a scripting, Katalon, right, Katalon Studio uses Groovy on top of Java and then Selenium methods. So that's what the scripting language we are going to use in the session. Okay, so if you see here, by default this particular test case shows you in the manual mode, right? So now if you see at the bottom, you have another mode called script, right? You need to click on script tab at the bottom, right? Script tab and manual tab. Okay, so as soon as you click on script tab, you can see there are a lot of dependencies which are already imported by Katalon. By default, some of the important dependencies will be imported by the Katalon, right? So now, so let's, before you start scripting, what do we need? So we need the object repository to be built. That means we need to capture the locators of each and every object. So let's go back to our website, which we are gonna use to automate. Okay, so this is my application. I would like to use an application of test project, okay, which we used. So we used the same application in our previous sessions also. I would like to use this application. Okay, for that, so I want to capture all the objects which are related to login. So I'm going to enter full name, password, and then login. Once I log in, I'm going to validate the home page and then log out and close the browser. Okay, so for that, what we need to do, you need to go back to your spy web, which I have explained you in my previous video. Okay, so click on spy web. So let me close this. Okay, click on spy web and then provide your URL here and then select your browser. I've already selected my browser as Chrome and click on start. So as soon as you click on start, it's going to open the application. So it opened the application here. So to capture all the objects, I already told you, you need to use Alt plus tilt symbol. Okay, so as soon as I click on Alt and tilt after pointing to my full name, so it captures your full name. Now just point your cursor on password, Alt tilt, so it's added your password at the right side, so you can see right side window. And now I want to add a button also. Done, right? So let me just capture some more objects of my home page. Okay, login. So this, in the home page, I would like to validate this header present or not. Okay, Alt tilt, so the header object is added into object repository. And then I would like to capture logout button as well. Okay, so I have already explained you how to capture the objects in my previous video. Please do visit that particular video where I explained in detail. Okay, Alt tilt, I have added my logout as well, I think. Yeah, so let me do one thing. Alt tilt, yes, it's added the logout button as well. And then close the browser. That means I have captured all the objects that are required to automate the test case by using scripting mode, right? So now let's save this. Okay, let me save this. So as soon as you save, it will ask you, do you want to create a new folder? Yes, I want to create a new folder stating TC03. See, in real time, I'm not going to create every time new folder whenever I capture the same objects, right? So generally I'm going to create a folder at the page level, login page. But now, because we are performing a demo of script mode, I just created a new folder. I'm storing all the objects in this new folder. Okay, click on OK. So as soon as you click on OK, you can close this now. So now if you see, I can see here now there is a new folder that is created, which is under object repository TC03 scripting mode, and then all the objects are added here. Okay, let's go back to our test case. So now let's start scripting. Okay, first we need to open browser, right? So for opening the browser, so in Katalon we need to use a keyword called web UI and dot. So as soon as you click on dot, you can see all the keywords related to web UI are loaded, right? So what I want to perform, open browser. So as soon as you click here open, so you can see open browser is already displaying. Just select that, and here you need to provide the URL of the application, right? I have provided the URL of application. Done. Now once you open the browser, what we need to do, we have to provide the username and then password. For that, set text in username. Okay, so again, because we are using web UI, web application, I'm gonna use web UI. Okay, and then set text. If you see here, I can see set text, right? So now, so as soon as I selected set text, so let me set the text here. So if you see here, let me again show you the definition of set text. Okay, dot set text. If you see, if I hover on this, it's going to clearly specify what set the value of any input field as though you type in it. Okay, here two represents. Here first parameter represents the web element. Your second parameter represents the text that you would like to type, right? Okay, so now the second parameter is what you want to type, right? I want to type Ravikant in the username. And what is the object? So I want to delete this, and I can simply, so this is my full name object, right? I can simply drag and drop here. So it's gonna paste the entire script here. It says find test object. Find test object is one keyword which we'll be using to, it's the same like find element in Selenium. Okay, so find test object, and the object is coming from this. And what is the text that I want to type? Ravikant is the text I want to type. Done. So now set text in password. Okay, set text in password. Again, web UI dot set text, right? Again, double click here. Now the password is 12345. So you have to specify the text in double quotes. Okay, and this one I would like to just drag and drop my password object so that it builds the script. Done. So once I set the password, click on submit login button. Click on login button. So for that, web UI dot click. So click the object. So what is the object here again? Just remove this, drag and drop your login button in the parenthesis. Done. Now click on, we have to validate, right? Validate the home page. So we have to validate the element. Web UI dot verify dot, let me just again, dot verify element present. If you see here, verify element present. And what is the element? So if you see the definition, this is actually the timeout. So I can specify as 4 seconds, and element is, this is my header, whether the header present or not. Drag and drop here. That's it. And now click on logout. So it's again web UI dot click the object. So the object is logout here, right? Drag and drop the logout button. That's it. And then close the browser. Web UI dot close browser. That's it. So we have completed our scripting here. Okay. So now let's save this script. Okay. And then let's run this script. Run on the Chrome browser. So it should open your application first. Okay. So it's opening the browser. So it's opened the browser. Click on login and then click on logout and then closed. So that means if you see, all the steps are passed. It set the text, it's clicked, it's verified the element, and then clicked on logout, close the browser. Right? And the main advantage, if you see, I have already scripted, right, by using script mode. If I go back to manual mode, it actually shows you the corresponding manual steps here. Now I can modify my scripting in the manual mode as well. So that means either you can use script mode or manual mode at a time while automating your one single test case. Okay. So now let's say if I don't want to, in this, let's say if I don't want to run a step of verify element. So all you need to do is go to the step that you don't want to run. Just specify not underscore run colon. So this is means it's almost like disabling. So if you go back to manual mode again, if you see here, the fifth step is disabled. It's same as right clicking and disabling, right? It's same as right click and disable. If I enable this again, enable. So if you go back to script, so now the not run should not be here. See, verify element not run is removed. Correct? Right? So now let's go back to script again. Okay. So now let me do one thing. So let me remove not run. Okay. So hope you understand, right? So basically you can use any method. Either you can use uh, any method. So either you can use manual method or you can use scripting method, right? So now what if I want to add, so when I am running, so let me run this test again. When I am running this test, the browser is not maximizing, correct? It's not maximizing. So what can I do if I want to maximize the browser? So if you see here, it's open, it's just typing the, so if you see, the browser is not maximized. So let me add, instead of using my script mode, again I can go back to manual mode. See, once I enter the open browser, I want to add a new step here. Okay, add web UI. So I want to move this to the up, right? And here I want to search maximize window action. See, I have added my maximize window action. If you see, a new web script has been added, web UI.maximize window, right? Now let's run the test. So it's going to run the test in Chrome browser. So after this, let me run the script in Firefox also and see if it's going to work or not. Okay, it's opened. Now it's maximized the window. Correct? It's pretty simple. So you can use manual mode or scripting mode, whatever you want to use. So let me run this script again in Firefox. It should open Firefox now instead of Chrome. If you see here, now the Firefox is open. At the bottom, if you see, this is Firefox, right? And then it's entered the URL, username, password, logged in, log out, and closed. So all your steps got succeeded. Correct? So verify element is disabled. Again, if I want to enable, I can enable from here. Okay, and um, let me, I think so. One more thing is, if you want to delete any steps, you can delete any step, any one step from here, or if you want to move the step to the up and down, you can move the step and up and down also. Okay, I think, hope you all understand the basic concepts of automating the test cases by using scripting mode, right? So in the next sessions, I'm going to cover very important topics like creating test suites and performing parallel browser testing, series browser testing, right? Cross platform testing, and many other concepts. Okay, so if you have any queries, please provide your comments in the comment box. I'll try to reply to your queries. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos on these concepts. Thank you.